What's up, everyone? Welcome back. It's your boy Clarence, and we're back with another episode of C Going Speed 252. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, definitely click that subscribe button right now because we would love to have you part of the community. My goal is to reach 20,000 followers by the end of this year, and I would love to do that with you all. And each one of you guys and ladies will be part of this channel, part of the family, part of the community. So definitely don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I also want to give a shout out to my friend Brink of Speed. He's a really great friend of mine. I love him dearly. We've been part of this YouTube family for a long time, and he's just been part of my heart, and he's a great guy. So once again, shout out to my boy Brink of Speed. I really greatly appreciate him. This video is about my 2021/2022 Corvette Z06 build. Yes, you heard it correctly, my Corvette Z06 build. Now, I'm keeping my current Stingray build a surprise for you all because I want you guys to be like, whoa, like that looks amazing. I like why you chose this. I like why you chose that. And as you all know, I was getting two Corvette Stingrays. That's what me and Chevrolet talked about. That's what we considered doing. And the strike pushed everything back while I told Chevrolet, hey, let's just stick with the first build and let's worry about the second build another time. So my second build, what I was planning to get was actually going to be what I'm going to build for you right now. This is going to be my current Z06 build. And let's hop into it. So as you see in front of us right now, you see I'm clicking on the actual convertible, which is $67,495. But as you see check, you see the coupe check. In my personal opinion, I consider both the coupe and a convertible because you can take the top off the coupe and still get you that convertible feel, or you can decide to go with the convertible, which means that you can push a button to kind of help your top goes back and forth. But as you can see right now, I'm going with a coupe. I stayed with that, which is $59,995 for this version. As you can see right now, the interior is pretty much simple as jet black. You can see the 1LT, 2LT, and then 3LT. Now, a lot of you may have questions about what's the big difference between the 1LT, the 2LT, and the 3LT. And if you need any questions, feel free to ask me. All the trim levels come with a 6.2-liter V8 and an 8-speed dual clutch. In this configuration, you can actually compare the trim levels if you wanted to on your own and kind of figure out which trim level will work best for you inside the C8 Mid Engine Corvette, because all of them have its great features, their great qualities, and you never know which one works best for you. If it was me, I would definitely break these trim levels down yourself. But as you can see, the 1LT is $59,995, the 2LT is $67,000, and the 3LT is $71,000. If you genuinely ask me, like I said before, you can't go wrong with either or. But for me, for instance, I'm going with the 2LT. The 2LT gives you that sweet spot between the 1LT and the 3LT. The 1LT doesn't give you everything or give me everything that I'm looking for, and the 3LT just offers a little bit too much that I'm just not willing to pay for. Certain things, for instance, the 1LT, you can't get the front end lift. With the 3LT, it gives you a lot of seat options. I only have one butt, so I don't need different color seat options. I don't need to pay for that many options for a seat. One color, simple as that. Even if it was jet black, I'm fine with that. So with this purchase, I think I would go with a 2LT for my Z06 version. And I don't really like all the options that they give you for the 3LT because it's just so confusing. With the two-tone, this color, that color, I'm going to stick with the 2LT when it comes down to building this future C8 Corvette Z06 for 2021 or 2022 when that is available to me. If you was currently building your Z06 right now or your Stingray, tell me which trim level would you go with. Leave your comments down below which trim level you think works best for you, and I will glad to hear your information and input down below. The next step, we're going to the color. Now with the color, you guys know I wanted to go with that accelerated yellow. That was my color for my second Z06. And I wanted the accelerated yellow because it just seems so bright. It just seems radiant. And it was one of those colors where it took GM a long time to actually display this color in person. And I still haven't seen it in person, but it was still a color I was willing to go with and take my chances with. And that was the last color they unveiled to the world, which was accelerated yellow. And unfortunately, since I canceled my second order, this will be my order for my Z06 currently. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with other colors like the Arctic White, the Black, the Torch Red, the Rapid Blue, and things like that. But right now, I would have to go with accelerated yellow for my current 2021-2022 Z06 build. And once again, there are dealerships out there right now that's actually taking deposits for the Z06. If you look down at the second picture below, you can actually see that accelerated yellow kind of goes well with the jet black interior, as I just circled right there with a mirror on the outside. The jet black interior, pretty much like I said before, goes well with anything. As you can see here, you're looking at the full-length dual racing stripes. Me personally, I'm not a stripe fan. I do like them. I had them on my Camaro. I do not have it on my current C7 Corvette, and I don't think I would add it on my C8 as well, just because if I want to add that in the future, I can totally add that. Now we're going to the interior. Before we get into full details about what interior I'll actually go with this color, what are you guys' thoughts on the interior yet? Have any of you guys seen it in person yet? Leave your comments down below. So next I'm going to go with my interior color with this, and I'm going to choose the Adrenaline Red. I think the Adrenaline Red interior complements this yellow so well. If you take a look at the bottom picture, you can see this Adrenaline Red inside the interior, and look at the outside window where you can see the mirror. That Adrenaline Red and that yellow look so well with each other. It definitely, correlates to each other really well. I can't see why you wouldn't think it definitely looks good. If you take a look at the picture above, you can see the red seats and the yellow exterior. I'm telling you right now, to me, that combination looks freaking phenomenal. I remember one guy telling me he worked at a dealership that actually ordered a yellow Corvette at one point with red seats. They ordered 4 of them, and it was like, why would you order this type of Corvette? It's not going to sell well. And they all 4 sold in the same day. So that being said, I think that definitely is a good combination for this car. On to the next step, obviously, is the Z51 package. Now, with the Z06, this won't be included. The Z06 will not have the Z51 package type of ordeal, so I won't know exactly what this will be once the car comes. But obviously, if you plan on tracking this car, you definitely want a Z51's package if you're building a Stingray. If you're going with the Z06 version, I'm assuming it's going to come with this, performance exhaust, the high performance suspension, and things like that. You're going to get a more track capable car when it comes down to building a Z06. So right now, if I'm building this car for myself, if it was a Z06, I'm going to go with these things. I'm also going to go with the engine appearance package on the coupe because me personally, I love to see the engine. I know there will be some aftermarket parts that come along later on that will allow you to light up your engine, whether you're driving or whether you're parked, somewhere at a car show, whatever the case may be. I think the engine performance package, the engine appearance package will look great in your car. This also is a package you cannot get in a convertible. Why? Because the engine does not show in a convertible. So on to the next step. Now, while it's taking some time to load with my slow internet and my slow computer, I like the way this car looks right now. I can tell you right now, I'm super excited about C8 Engine Corvette. So on to the next step, which will be the exterior. Now we have a bunch of different wheel options. Now, these wheel options have been talked about for a long time now for a lot of people. A lot of people do not like the wheels. Some people are okay with them. If you generally ask me, I'm okay with it. The wheels are not my favorite. They have plenty of options we can choose with. Like for instance, these wheels is the same type of wheels that's currently on the car. A base model is just black. Look at it. So it kind of makes the car look okay. But these wheels isn't something that get me excited. When you look at a car show and you look at a car, the first thing you try to look at is sometimes the wheels. So the wheels makes the car look that much better depending on what you're going with and what you want. Oh, you can click on these wheels right here as well, which look a little bit better. These are the 5 Trident spoke wheels. They look okay. They definitely look better than the other wheels that we saw earlier, but they don't look that much better. Not enough for $1,500 if you generally ask me. You can go on to the next one, which is the 5 Trident spoke machine face Spectra, which okay as well. These would be the wheels I would go with if I had the choice. So right now, I would probably go with these wheels on my car just because they look much better than all the other ones. Wheels to me is very important. If you want your car to stand out above the rest, if you want your car to look good at car shows, you definitely want a good set of wheels on your vehicle. That's just my personal opinion, but I could be wrong. What are you guys' thoughts on the wheels that Chevrolet is offering on the current car as we speak? Next, I'm going to click on the battery protection package. Why? I currently do not have the battery protection package with my current C7. I think this is something that you totally need if you're in an area where you get lots of snow like New York, Chicago, Idaho, where your car is actually winterized for longer than you can actually drive it throughout the year. I don't know what area you live in. I know here where I'm from, we can pretty much drive our sports cars all year round. We get snow maybe 2-3 times a year. That doesn't affect us that much. I know my current C7, the battery has died a few times in the wintertime, but it wasn't because of something that belonged to Chevrolet. It was my fault. I decided to get underglow lighting, which I installed in my car, which drained my battery within 3 to 4 days if I decided to keep it hooked up. At this point, it is currently unhooked, and I learned my lesson that I should probably keep it unhooked because it kept continuously draining the battery. So going forward, I think I will end up getting the battery protection package with my Stingray or my Z06, so I can use that between the both cars to keep both cars fully charged or trickle charged throughout the winter time for sure, because I think it's a great feature to have. It's only $100, and the last thing you want to do is keep having to charge your battery or keep having to jump start your battery, because the more it dies, the weaker it gets, and you don't have to deal with that mess in the long run. I can tell you right now, I have friends that had cars all the time that die because they never kept it on a trickle charger, and it cost in the long run, it had to cost them a new battery, and the batteries for these cars isn't that expensive. Now let's go on to the next feature, which is the Z51 Performance Suspension Magnetic Rod, which is a feature I think you will definitely want to have if you plan on tracking this car in the future. It's definitely something that will either probably come standard on the Z06, or it may just be optional, depending on where you want to go with your Z06. But I don't think you would buy that type of car or that amount of horsepower without the magnetic rod. I think it's something you should totally get for your vehicle, and I think you would definitely enjoy it because I definitely have it right now on my C7 Corvette, and I have tracked my car a few times on the drag skip, on the track, and it was definitely something great to have. Next, we're going to the front lift, and you can get this with a 202 and a 3LT. Don't quote me on this. I am unsure if you can get it on the 1LT C8, only because the 1LT doesn't come with the memory to where you can actually use this when you're going across a speed bump and all that stuff. The 2LT gives you that option to be able to, if you go up to a certain place you go to all the time, you can save that as a spot you go to a lot, up to 1,000 spots if I'm not mistaken, and it will allow you to remember that location anytime you go up to that speed bump or that location, so you don't scrape the bottom of your car. Because I felt like the Z06, C7 and Grand Sport C7 deserved to have the front end lift, and it was something that people were excited for. Next, we're going to go to the calipers. The calipers, I think, is a big deal because it gives you that extra accent piece on the outside of the car. If you take a look, I just clicked on the bright red. I think the bright red goes well with this color. If you go with the edge red, I think the edge red go well with this color too. But the bright red to me actually looks better, only because if you decide to get brake dust, it will still shine a little bit. You can go with the yellow, which is what I'm about to click on right now. But the yellow doesn't really break up this car good enough. You take a look at the yellow calipers and the yellow exterior. It may be a little bit different, but you want something that's going to stand out and give you that different contrast. So right now, let's go with the bright red for this current Z06 build, because I think that's what stand out the most to me. Next, if you go down, you can see the wheels here as well. These are technically all black Trident spoke wheels, and just like the ones that's currently in the car right now. But personally, for me, I like the ones that I currently have to give you a little mixture of both. And it's pretty much, like I said before, it's the same wheels as the other wheels, just different colors, and it costs a little bit more. But I will say, if you decide to go with an extra set of wheels on this car other than the base model ones, you actually get two sets of wheels. You get the base model ones on top of the wheels you bought, and they will have to install those at the dealership. But in my personal opinion, I don't think the wheels look that great for me to want to pay extra to have two sets of wheels come with this car. But at the end of the day, if that's your preference, that would you like to go with, then you go with that. For me also, I don't need the center cap. I think I'm fine with the C8 logo. I don't really need it saying Stingray, any of that stuff, so I'm fine with that. I love the J logo. I don't think I really need it as well as a center cap. If that's your preference, definitely your comments down below what your thoughts on that. I don't need the wheel lock and none of that stuff. I don't need black lug nuts because, once again, I like the wheels, and whatever lug nuts come with the car is what I'm fine with. I don't really lead the hash marks. Once again, I'm the type of guy, I may end up wrapping my car if I see too many colors out there that looks the same as mine. But at the end of the day, you all want your car to look different, unique. So the hash marks is something I think looks great. I just won't get it in my car. And if I wanted it in my car, I would actually do that myself because it's not that hard to really do. Now on these next selections, these are pretty much like the roof selection. The roof is kind of iffy to me. I think, the body color looks good as well. I know some people may go with the black, the carbon fiber, whatever the case may be. With my current C7 Corvette, the roof was originally blue, and I decided to actually wrap it black to kind of give it a different look. And for me, I don't think it's worth paying an extra almost $3,400 to get my color roof black. That's my personal opinion. I would probably just save the money and wrap it myself. It really wouldn't cost that much, and it's not like I'm trying to see through the roof. It's one of those things where, I don't have a problem driving my car in the rain, but for the most part, I can take the top off on a nice day. So if it was me, I would just pretty much get my roof wrapped black, and so it can look just like the picture we see above. Leave your thoughts down below if you're actually going to go with the same body color roof, or you may go with a dual roof package or a transparent roof package. Just leave your thoughts down below. I'd like to hear what you think about that. Next, we're going to go with the engine cover. I personally think for the coupe, the engine cover is a big deal. For me, since I am the type of guy like I have a little bit of contrast with this car. You can see I got the accelerated yellow with the red interior, the red calipers, and a little bit of black to break up the car a little bit. I think going with a nice, crisp, clean engine cover will be great. So now I'm going to click on a few of these things. I'm going to scroll through so I can find a quality picture of what the engine cover looks like. As you can see right now, the car looks amazing to me. I can't, Chevrolet did a great job of building this car. I can tell you that right now. So with this next photo, as you see right now, it's going to show you exactly what the engine cover looks like. Me personally, I think this looks great. You may be able to get somebody to spray paint it for you. You may be able to get somebody to wrap it for you. But in my personal opinion, it may not look as great. I think the engine cover matches the seat colors really well. So if I were you, I would just go ahead and pay the extra $400 to $500 to kind of get this engine cover that matches the car. Some of you may be good at doing this on your own. I know I wouldn't be, so I would probably just go ahead and get this engine cover colored the way I want it to be. The Z51 rear spoiler actually comes with the car, but you have the option of getting the higher wing, whether you want it to be carbon fiber, whether you want it to actually be the same color as the car. Either way, I have never owned a car with a higher wing, so I think it'd be nice to figure out what it feels like to own a car with a higher wing. So I'm going to make that selection right now. And personally, I think it looks good. Look how the black just contrasts with the front of the car to the back of the car with the Stingray logo. I mean, the rear spoiler is going to look freaking amazing. To me, it's going to make it look sportier. Now, some of my friends who decided to build the C8 Stingray decided to go with the regular Z51 wing. For me, on my Z06 build, I'm going to go with the high wing because I think the high wing just looks sexy. It looks phenomenal. It gives you that sports car look. It gives you that thrill that you're looking for. Now, I'm going to admit, I don't know if any of you guys thought about this, but I heard a lot of people complain about the high wing on the Z01 because it made it tough for them to actually put things in the trunk. For me, since now you have the front of this car that's also a trunk, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal for me to put stuff inside the car. Now, if I own a Z01, which I currently don't, obviously, I don't have a front to put trunk space. I don't have a trunk in the front to put stuff into, so it's kind of tough. I can see I could be tough putting stuff in the back. Now I'd like to talk about the side of the car. As you look, like I said before, you have the black spoiler, you have the black accents, you have the bright red calipers, you have the exterior of the yellow car, and those three colors I think complement this car super well. Like I said before, I would probably go black with my roof, but I want to click on this. As you can see right now, you see the body color exterior accents, which is the vent on the outside. I personally think the vent on the outside looks good, but if you decide to go with the body color exterior, I think it looks fine, but for me, it doesn't break up the car just enough. If you look at the photo above, you can see how now it is yellow. To me, that doesn't really break up it enough. I mean, you got to give it some type of appeal. So I'm going to take that back, and I'm going to leave it black. I think the black breaks it up just enough to kind of give you an indication of what that looks like. And that's just with my preference. Leave your thoughts down below if you actually decide to go with the body color accents on the outside of the car. Now, clicking on this carbon flash metallic painted outside mirrors. I personally think the mirrors should be black. There's nothing wrong with them being yellow, but it's also I want that black mirrors to match the black accent and the black spoiler as well. As you notice, when I clicked on that, the spoiler decided to go back to the Z51 spoiler, not the high wing spoiler. And I can click back on the high wing spoiler, and it's still not going to show me exactly the high wing spoiler anymore, only because it is a necessity. It's an extra need. So when your car gets to the dealership will then take your low wing Z51 spoiler and put on the big high wing. Now, when it comes down to the Z06, I can't tell you. I think it's going to be active aero. That's my guess. So if that's the case, you probably won't have to make that selection when the time comes to building a Z06. It may be active aero, or you may be able to have the choice of getting a high wing spoiler and something else as well. With that being said, once again, I think the high wing spoiler would definitely be something I would personally get on my Z06 if it's not something that comes standard as an active aero spoiler. I will say the outside mirror covers is something I don't need as far as carbon fiber goes. Right now, you can't get carbon fiber in your car anyways. It's something that Chevrolet decided to take back. I think carbon fiber looks good on the car, but for me, only two reasons for you to get the carbon fiber is one, if you want the looks, and two, if you really think your car going to be that much lighter. But for me, I don't think, to me, it costs way more money than I want to pay for the carbon fiber. Also, I think the Corvette museum delivery be something good, so that's why I clicked on that. It's $1,000. I heard from a lot of people that own previous Corvette that bought C7s in the past, had a great time actually going with the Corvette museum delivery. You know, you go there, they show you all the ins and outs of the car. It's a great experience to give you a tour of the museum is what I'm assuming. And these are all things I told. I have never did museum delivery with any of my cars. I decided to pick my car up from the dealership, so I never had the opportunity to do museum delivery. But man, look at this car. Guys, what do you think of this color I've chosen so far? Literally leave your thoughts down below. I think this Accelerate Yellow and the specs I chose made the car looks well. Look at the inside interior. And I did this only because I know a lot of people is going to go with this color with their Stingray. And for me, I wanted to go with this color, but with, like I said before, with the stripe pushing everything back, it kind of just forced me at this point to actually go with just one car and build this as my current Z06 model. And so I wanted to just reach out and give you guys something different. And hopefully when the Z06 comes out, I can actually afford it to get it. But this will hopefully be my spec for my Z06. And I'm hoping to get this car when it comes. I've seen videos of them actually working on the Z06 version of this car, and it sounds phenomenal. And I'm looking forward to getting that car for sure. And once again, I think this car, this color combination, the black, the red, the yellow, it's just a great combination. They all complement each other really well. And at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to seeing this car for sure. Now let's go on to the next part. And as you can see now, we're in the interior, which the infotainment system is something standard that comes with all the 1LT, the 203, and TLT. Next, we're going to go with the GT1 and GT2 and then competition seats. If you ask me, I only got one but. And the GT1 seats are standard. The GT2 seats or seats that used to come in C7, and for me, I felt like that was uncomfortable. That's just my personal opinion. You guys who own C7s with the competition seat or the GT2 seats or somewhat similar seats, tell me guys how you feel about it. I know some of you guys were able to sit in these seats when you did the tour out at a location in your area. For me personally, I feel like those seats was a little bit uncomfortable, so I'm going to stick with the GT1 seats just so I can save that money and put it towards something else. And $1,500 for the GT2 seats and $2,000 for the competition seats, for me, it personally seems a bit much. I guess you want that track feel, that track appeal when you're on the track, but I'm not going to track my car that much enough to actually go with that seats. Now let's talk about the seat belts. So as you can see right now, I'm putting the arrow on the black seat belts inside of the car. Me personally, I think the black seat belt goes well with the red, but I never really had the opportunity to have a two-tone color seat belt, because black is standard in pretty much any car that you actually get. Right now, I would love to go with a different color seats inside this car. I mean, you got so many options between the orange, the tan, the torch red, the yellow, the two-tone seat belts. But for me, let's go ahead and click on the red. I'm going to tell you my thoughts on the red. See, the red looks good. Not a problem with the red, but for me, that's a little bit too much red in the car at this point. I also have two-tone seats, so I'm going to go with the yellow. Boy, that yellow right there looks amazing. I can tell you right now. See, that breaks up the car on the inside. Let me tell you how I'm building this car. Right? Let's see if you can see exactly how I'm feeling. You got the yellow on the inside with the red interior with the black. Now on the outside, you got the black, the yellow, and the red again. So this all complements each other so well. I mean, there's not too much of anything on my personal opinion, just enough red in the inside. There's enough black in the inside and just a little bit of yellow to give you what you mentioned on the outside. Because you think about it, look at the car, look at that first picture. The whole car is yellow. So in the inside of the car, you just want a little bit of yellow to kind of match the outside. You have a little bit of red on the outside to match a lot of the red in the inside of the seats. And then you got enough black in the inside to match a little bit of black that's on the outside. That's just my way of thinking about it, but I love the way it looks. I can tell you right now, I'm super excited for this color combination. And so you can click on the two-tone seats and you see how it goes back to the black and the gray. That looks okay in the car, I'm not gonna lie, but it doesn't bright, it doesn't shine. This looked great, but I'm really afraid of how dirty it gets really quickly. And the black is fine. I think the black won't get as dirty. But for me, the black is just, it looks good. It complements the car really well, but it doesn't really do anything. So for me, I think I would have to go back with the red interior just because the red interior pops. It stands out. It's definitely something that's different. It's unique. And, I can't really say enough of how much I think the torch red interior seats or the drilling red goes well with this car. I mean, look at it. See, it pops. When you saw that color pop, your eyes just brighten up a little bit more, seeing how the color scheme in this car really works well with each other. And for me, once again, if you're going to build a car that you're going to drive for a long period of time, because I feel like for me, I spend most of my time in the car. I want this thing to pop. And that's just my personal opinion. Do you guys feel like you spend most of your time in your car, or is your Corvette just something you actually take out, to go with your wife or your girlfriend on here and there basis, and it kind of stays in the garage a lot? For me, since the weather's here pretty nice throughout the year, I like to be able to just take my car out and have fun with it. These are the things I don't need in the car, so let's go on to the next accessory. And that's pretty much the end of the bill. That's all included. This is my current Z06 spec, you guys. At one point, I was getting 2 Stingrays. I'm not going to explain anything about my first one. Do not look at this car and think my first one will be anything like this, because it won't be. I'm telling you right now, it'll be completely different. You guys will be shocked and surprised. And I want to keep it a secret until the day this car is arrived. And I'm super excited. If you take a look at the price right here, this is the price for this current bill. But once the Z06 version comes out, I can guarantee you right now, it's going to be at least, probably pushing close to $95,000, over $100,000 for that car, because it's going to be able to compete with a lot of amazing cars out there. And so right now, this is my current 2021, 2022 Z06 spec, and I love the way this looks. Guys, leave your thoughts down below on what are your choices and your colors for your Z06. Because I know some of you are planning on getting the Stingray and moving up to the Z06. A lot of people do that. I know a lot of you guys may just stick with the Stingray because you don't feel like there's enough horsepower for you. which it is. My current Grand Sport, I'm sorry, has 465 horsepower, and the base model Stingray will have 485 horsepower. That's plenty of horsepower for everyday driving. Good quality car, but a lot of people love that wide body, that good old, American muscle, that more horsepower, that thrill, that rush, and all that good stuff. And I never owned a Z06. I only own a Grand Sport. My first Corvette is the one I have right now, and I love it a lot. And I enjoy driving it, and I'm looking forward to actually being behind the wheel of a mid-engine sports car. I've driven a mid-engine sports car before, but I never owned one. And I'm sure some of you guys are on one. So what are you guys' thoughts? Do you think this new mid-engine sports car that Chevy is building is going to take over the world, take over the mid-engine market, that's going to force other mid-engine sports cars to produce them cars at a low price? What are you guys' thoughts? Leave your comments down below. Once again, thank you for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. We'd love to have you part of the community.